Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a Pokemon that I believe to be an absolute meta breaker in the Holiday Cup, and that is Dunsparce. Dunsparce is a pure normal type Pokemon with the moveset of Rollout, Rock Slide, and Drill Run. Dunsparce has very nice bulk, and it has terrific coverage against a lot of the meta threats you're going to be seeing. I tested out Dunsparce, went crazy positive with the team, and was almost able to reach Expert. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out Dunsparce in action in the Holiday Cup. Hopping to the first match, picking up a tough lead, Dubwool into Galvantula. I'm going to save switch into a Alolan Graveler, and my opponent responds with a Spark Lantern. I'm going to overfarm and then go for the Stone Edge. Stone Edge will hit for some heavy neutral damage if it lands, which it does. My opponent continues to farm, allowing a Alolan Graveler to reach a Rock Blast. Rock Blast is able to grab a shield, and now that I have shield advantage, I'm perfectly fine with letting this go. My opponent is actually running Hydro Pump on the Lantern. Typically Surf is recommended, but I guess they are going to be running the Hydro Pump to look for potential one-shots. I'm just going to go for the farm down here. Hydro Pump will get me extremely low, but I will be able to lead with a lot of energy, and that's going to be quite nice because Galvantula is very glassy. I'm going to fire off this first Body Slam. Body Slam is going to land. My opponent sends in Frostlass, and I'm going straight for the Payback. I'm going to slightly undercharge this. Payback deals a ton of damage. Now I can just bring in Dunsparce and fully roll out farm down. They go for the Avalanche. That's not going to KO. Opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. Picking up a very nice lead in the next match, Dubwool into Abomasnow. My opponent will immediately save switch into a Jellicent, and they are absolutely core broken by Dubwool. I'm going to stay in and fire off the Payback. No baiting here. Payback is able to land, and they fire their energy. I'm going to let this go. I tank whatever this could possibly be. They go Ice Beam, and now it's time for Graveler to farm. I send in a Alolan Graveler, I get the Volt Switch farm down, and I leave with a ton of energy. They can't really bring Abomasnow into a loaded Graveler, so they're forced to send in their final Pokemon, which is Water Gun Lantern. Stone Edge is able to force a shield. I'm going to commit to a second Stone Edge to force them to empty their energy. This is perfectly fine. I have shield advantage, and shield advantage Dunsparce is incredibly deadly. My opponent tries to go for CMP, and I get a rollout for free. That's incredible. I will commit the shield, as I do have to shield something, and then I'm going to fire off the Drill Run. Drill Run will hit for some heavy super effective damage, and here I decide to go for a Rock Slide. I threw this in case they decided to catch onto the Abomasnow. They do not, and now I'm going to send in Dubwool. The double kick went through, so that should be enough to KO the Lantern, and from here I should be in a great spot to finish out the game. In comes the Abomasnow. I'm going to begin firing off Body Slams. Body Slam number 1 is able to land, and I'm able to get the Body Slam number 2. This will get them incredibly low if they let it through. My opponent commits the shield, and now it's all up to Dunsparce, and Dunsparce is just too healthy. Even if this is the Energy Ball, which it is, Dunsparce is able to tank it, and I will be able to make it to the Rock Slide. Rock Slide more than enough to take care of the Abomasnow, and that is a good game. Picking up a great lead in the next match, Dubwool into Obstagoon. I do take single super effective, but I deal double super effective damage in return. I'm also able to outpace the Obstagoon and reach my Body Slam a turn before they reach their charge move. They're going to throw one additional counter, fire off the move. I'm going to let this through. It is the Cross Chop, but I am going to be able to tank it. My opponent is going to save switch into Lantern, and now it's time for Dunsparce to feast. Dunsparce absolutely loves Lantern save switches because I just significantly outpace them. I'm going to fire off this Drill Run. Drill Run is able to land, and I will be able to get to Drill Run number 2. My opponent is going to fire off a charge move. This should just be a Surf, which I will be able to tank, and I should be able to make it to 2 more Drill Runs. So now, if they shield, they're going to be in a world of hurt. They let that through, and I'm able to reach the last second Drill Run into the Obstagoon. Obstagoon was already pretty low, so this Drill Run is actually able to KO. In the back, they have Altaria. In comes Graveler. Opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. Same leads in the next match, double into Obstagoon. You absolutely love to see it. My opponent is going to save switch into Lantern, so they are running a very similar team to the team I just faced, so I should be in an incredibly good spot. As we've seen, Dunsparce absolutely crushes Lantern. There's a little bit of a stutter there, but I am able to double up on the drill runs. Let's begin to apply some pressure. I am going to fire them off back to back, so this way I make them make the first shielding decision of the match. They decide to commit the shield. That is perfectly fine by me. And again, they give me a free rollout. That is so good. They go for the surf. That's not going to KO. And Dunsparce reaches a third drill run. It just will not die. And I'm able to grab both shields from my opponent. I'm going to bring in Double. Double will be hit with a move, but that's perfectly fine. I am going to let this through. They do go for the Thunderbolt. I'm going to farm up slightly and then go for the Body Slam. Body Slam should just about be enough to KO here. And down goes Lantern. My opponent is going to send in Frostlass, and I just have to keep farming and watch for a catch. They are, of course, going to try and catch the payback onto Obstagoon, so I just have to keep farming and watch for the switch, and they send in the Goon, and now this game is basically over. I'll be able to fire off my double body slams. Actually, I throw one more double kick, and I'm not able to get my second body slam. A definite misplay by me. I'm going to let this through. Cross Chop is going to do quite a lot of damage, but I will be able to win CMP over the Obstagoon. This Rock Blast should KO. And then, even though I'm pretty low on health and made a pretty big mistake, Graveler should be able to reach the Stone Edge, and that'll be game over. So even despite some misplays, Graveler closes strong, and we secure the victory. Moving into the next match, picking up a slightly negative lead, double into Altaria. I'm going to stay in, throw one double kick, and then save switch into Graveler, and my opponent is going to respond with Obstagoon. Alolan Graveler hits incredibly hard, so even a neutral Stone Edge at times may be able to guarantee a shield. My opponent is going to fire off a charge move, and that's perfectly fine with me, as Graveler was able to get shield advantage, and that's all I really wanted out of this situation. I baited out their counter user, and now Graveler has gotten me shield advantage. They fire off the Cross Chop. I'm going to return fire with the Body Slam. Body Slam will be doing quite a bit of neutral damage here, gets the Goon low, and I get the double kick farm down. Opponent in the back, they have their own double, and unfortunately, this is looking like it's game over. If you do encounter a double counter team, since this team is double weak to counter, it's going to be pretty hard to win, to be 100% honest. They're going to fire off a Body Slam here. Body Slam is able to connect. I'm going to return fire with the Drill Run, but I end up losing CMP. And as you're going to see, unfortunately, Dunsparce, while it can handle basically anything in this meta, more or less the one thing it struggles with is going to be going up against counter users. And as you're going to see, yeah, double, just not really something Dunsparce is going to be able to handle. I'm going to try my best here, though. Bank a move, switch in my double, but they can just farm down with their Altaria. I go for the payback. Payback, they don't have to respect it. They can just let that through. And as you're going to see, I do end up resigning the match. Picking up a very nice lead in the next match as we lead double into an opposing Dunsparce. So someone else has learned how great the Sparse is. My opponent is going to save switch into Lantern, and this is absolutely beautiful for my Dunsparce. I'm going for the Drill Run. Drill Run is able to connect, getting the Lantern below half. Lantern continues to farm, and they end up losing CMP. If they want to get this charge move off, they're going to have to give me a shield, and honestly, that works great for me. I'm going to let this through. It is going to be just the Surf. They will reach another Surf before I get to my Drill Run, and they accidentally throw an alignment, giving me a free rollout. That's incredibly nice. I will commit the shield, and then I'm going to go for the Drill Run. Let's see, are they willing to give up their final shield to try and flip switch advantage here? And they are. Lantern going for the farm down, but Dunsparce says no. Too tanky, able to reach the Drill Run, and I win switch advantage and shield advantage. They're going to send in their own Dunsparce, and I'm able to reach a Drill Run just before I get taken out. This Drill Run will do some nice chip damage, although Dunsparce is quite tanky. They're going to fire off a Drill Run. I will immediately no shield as I can comfortably tank it. In the back, they have Altaria. I can send in a Alolan Graveler, and this will be game over, as this Stone Edge will nearly one-shot the Altaria. Stone Edge lands. They'll fire off a charge move, but I don't have to shield a thing. Graveler did its job. Graveler takes the Moonblast. In comes the Dunsparce, but Alolan Graveler standing strong. Stone Edge takes care of the Dunsparce, and that is a good game. Picking up a pretty decent lead in the next match, Dubwool into Frostlass. Typically, I will like to stay in this lead, tank a move, grab a shield advantage, and then with the shield advantage, I can safely bring out the Graveler. They're going to fire off an Avalanche. Avalanche is going to get me quite low. I will be able to withstand it, and then I'm actually going to go for a bait here. Pretty risky, but I am expecting them to shield. My opponent does commit the shield, and now it's a Lowland Graveler time. They will fire off a charge move. I'm going to let this go as I do tank whatever they throw. They go for the Avalanche. That does do quite a bit of damage. My opponent is going to send in a Vigoroth, but I'm able to reach the last second Stone Edge. Stone Edge, massive damage, nearly getting rid of the Vigoroth. I do have a move stored on my Dubwool and shield advantage, so I can just bring the Dubwool in, fire off the Body Slam, and I'm not expecting they're going to shield this. I fire off the Body Slam, down goes Vigoroth. We'll have to see what they have in the back, and they have Lantern. I fire off the Body Slam just to get a little bit of chip, and now it's time for Dunsparce to steal the show. I will need 2 charge moves to KO, so if you notice, I am actually going for Rock Slides again, in case they end up trying to catch onto their Frostlass. I will fire off a Rock Slide. 2 Rock Slides should just about KO here. I fire off the first. They're going to send in the Frostlass. Frostlass will fire off an Avalanche. I have 2 shields remaining, and now is the time to use it. So I will commit the shield. They reach Avalanche number 2. I'm going to commit my second shield. And now the question is, how much can I overfarm? I'm going to farm up to the back-to-back moves here versus the Frostlass. Firing off the Rock Slide. My opponent is going to let that go. Back in comes the Lantern. Can Dunsparce outpace the Lantern? I fire off the Drill Run. That gets the shield. Dunsparce able to get to the Drill Run. And that's game over. Dunsparce clutches the win. Moving into the next match, and we're going up against fellow content creator and friend of the channel, Zaire Felrose. Tough lead in Altaria, so I'll throw 1 double kick, save switch into a Lowland Graveler. Altaria is staying in here, and then he's going to respond with his own Dubwool. Very happy to bait out the fighter, and I'm able to grab an early shield. That is fantastic. He continues to farm, and I reach Stone Edge number 2. This will do massive damage, getting the Dubwool extremely low. My Graveler's low enough where a Body Slam will probably KO. I'm going to let that through. Body Slam is going to KO, but I got the shield advantage that I desperately wanted. He should be able to reach a payback here, which he is. That's perfectly fine by me. He's going to send in Altaria. I should barely be able to live this Sky attack. And then it's all up to Dunsparce. I go for the Body Slam, but he ends up making a catch onto his Aurorus. And now I know Dunsparce is going to be able to sweep this endgame. I'm going to overfarm slightly and go for the Drill Run. Drill Run is going to hit for some big super effective damage, getting the Aurorus low. Meteor Beam would definitely hurt, so I do commit the shield, and they full send the Meteor Beam. He continues to farm, trying for a Meteor Beam, and he doesn't make a second one. Back in comes Altaria, and I just have too much HP remaining at this point. I'm just going to start firing off Rock Slide after Rock Slide in this matchup. I'm going for Rock Slide number 2 onto the Altaria. Altaria lets it go, and that is a good game. Hopping into the final match, picking up a bit of an awkward lead, Dubwool into Charizard. I'm going to throw 1 double kick, save switch into a Lowland Graveler, and I am met with an opposing Dunsparce. I would have gotten outpaced if I went for the Stone Edge, so I decided to go for the Rock Blast just to get any chip damage. My opponent will go for the Drill Run. This is a terrible matchup for Graveler, so I am not committing shields. Instead, I'm just going to use this opportunity to get a massive energy lead on Dubwool, because Dubwool with energy will be able to threaten the Glassy Charizard. They go for the Drill Run. That's perfectly fine by me. I'm going to continue to farm and then fire off the Body Slam, and I'm very close to having triple Body Slam here. This Body Slam is going to KO. In comes the Charizard, and I'm now at 2 more Body Slams, so I should hopefully be able to force a shield here. And if I can get shield advantage, we've seen shield advantage Dunsparce is incredibly deadly. I go for the Body Slam. I get the shield. In comes Dunsparce. They do have enough for the Blast Burn. I don't know what's in back, so I respect it. It is the Blast Burn, and in the back, my opponent has an incredibly cool pick, Shadow Alolan Sandslash. Thankfully, it's something that Dunsparce can hit for super effective damage, and my Drill Run is able to grab a shield. I'm going to let this go. My opponent is going to start firing off Ice Punches. I'm going to tank that, and then go for the Drill Run. Drill Run, of course, will hit for super effective damage here. No shields remaining, and it lands nearly enough to KO. I'm going to try and farm up energy here, and then try and go for a snipe with a double kick, if at all possible. In comes Dubwool, not quite able to KO, but the double kick went through. I got the 0-turn swap. Ice Punch gets me low. Charizard is able to take me out, but Dunsparce will be able to clutch this game. I will commit the shield on the Dragon Claw, and then I should be able to reach the Rock Slide. Rock Slide, double super effective damage, more than enough to take care of the Charizard. One rollout, takes out the Sand Slash, and secures the win. All in all, I think Dunsparce is an absolute hidden gem in the Holiday Cup meta. It has tremendous coverage, and the bulk it has can be very beneficial. I do believe it probably functions best as either a lead or a closer, but in either position, as long as you can keep it away from those pesky counter users, it's going to put in a ton of work. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you as always to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.